Yeah, I'm really happy about being here at the Green Academy because it's really great to see a lot of activists, environmentalists that are really committed to the concept of the commons. Just across the sea in Italy, I've experienced and witnessed a sort of experience of the commons, social movement of the commons that has really transformed politics in Italy in a really kind of spectacular way. And I see a lot of potential for a lot of the same changes here in Croatia because basically Croatians and people in the Balkans seem to be fighting the same types of struggles as are people throughout the entire world, which is basically struggles against neoliberalism. So this is the same message of the Occupy movement, this is the same message of the anti-globalization movement, it's the same message of the people at the World Social Forum. There is a common struggle, not to play too much with the pun of the word common, but this is the common struggle that we're fighting. And we're fighting these unaccountable institutions like the WTO, the IMF, what has been dubbed now as the Troika in the European context, with the European Commission, the European Central Bank, and the IMF together that are now here in Europe requiring, right, on the condition, as a condition of the bailouts for countries like Italy, Spain, and Greece, that they privatize certain kinds of industries. And so my presentation yesterday was to look at the strategies for actually fighting those types of regulations. So strategies, legal strategies. So specifically, yesterday I talked a bit about a few struggles and the way in which they have used what I see as commons-type organization, commons-type governance, which is horizontal, non-hierarchical, uses different kinds of decision-making methods than majority voting, right? So methods like General Assembly, which has been adopted as well by the Occupy movement, to create legal entities, right? So not just forms of social and political protest, but legal protection around certain kinds of occupation and certain kinds of political action so that they can actually exist and in time. So I talked a bit about the foundation, right? So the foundation as a model for protecting commons organization. And I think that there was a really good response from the audience because, like I said, we're all fighting the same things. And so there were people in the audience that were part of this movement in Dubrovnik, for example, where they're doing a development where they basically justify this development based on this idea, this very strange concept, right? Which it really blows my mind, this idea that in the national law, it says that it is in the Croatian general interest, it is in the state's interest to pursue the building of golf courses, right? I mean, this is an incredible thing for me. And so looking at that and hearing that people are facing these same types of problems and looking for legal strategies for fighting these types of privatization made me feel like what I was saying was relevant, could be relevant for people. I also talked a bit about the use of the Constitution, right? So another aspect of the Italian situation, the commons movement in Italy, was bringing the Italian Constitution back to life, making it relevant for regular people again, right? Because in every constitution in the world, every single constitution in Europe, there are guarantees for people to receive just compensation for the taking of land, for the taking of public land. So the transfer of public wealth to private hands has to be compensated, but in most cases in practice, the Constitution is not applied and people are not compensated, right? There's also articles within every constitution that put limits on private property, so you have to maintain a social purpose. Not a social purpose like golf courses, right? So a real social purpose that you think about real access for every person, not based on price, to fundamental things like water, to nature, to education, to healthcare, right? Which are basically denied in practice. But the law itself says, right, that you're guaranteed those things. So in the Italian case, they used a certain set of articles to say, look, there's a legal basis for what we're doing, for claiming these commons, and this is why you cannot take it away from us. And they were able to win some extremely important struggles within the Constitutional Court. So here, in this presentation, I looked at the Croatian Constitution. And again, I was just mind blown. Because directly within the Croatian Constitution, well, two reasons. One less surprising, the other very surprising. Unsurprisingly, of course, there are provisions in the Croatian Constitution that say exactly the same types of things. Limits on private property for social purpose. It even had a category, a list of all the types of things that had special protection, right? Like water, like your beaches, like nature, all of these, a whole kind of category of things that couldn't be privatized, right? But alongside that, I found something extremely surprising, which was this provision which guaranteed foreign direct investment, right? Basically unconditional rights on whatever investments they made. And it's a clear, I've never seen actually within a constitution, on the continent, that includes such a provision, because it's such clear denial of people's rights, right? And a clear cry to foreign multinationals to come in and privatize the Commonwealth. So this is why I'm happy to be here, and it's really encouraging to see that so many young people and so many activists and environmentalists and people interested in the commons coming together to share ideas.